Look how many people there are! Should we get to it then? Pick up anything that seems the least bit device-like, and we'll make ourselves a pile.
Well, if it isn't the hero of the hour, maybe you'll change our look. We've found bugger all without you.
Big pigs! Wedge!
Aye, aye. Well, we could hardly say no to a call for aid from the Scions. Jesse called it the chief of some other business. So we'll be working twice as hard to make up for his not being here.
Thrice as hard, even.
Thank you, both of you. I'm sure we'll find that beacon in no time.
I'm not seeing anything out here. Do you reckon you could squeeze in there, Wedge?
And get stuck halfway? No, thank you.
I could try if you like.
Tataru, no! We couldn't ask you to do that.
Oh, I'll be fine. This receptionist is not afraid to get her hands dirty.
Sorry, I meant to say, the scholars haven't finished their preliminary assessment of the site yet, so we're not supposed to venture too far in. What's that you got there? Now that looks promising.
Isn't that the Ironworks symbol? Counterfeiters?
Now I have you.
You are right.
What's happening?
Stay with me. Focus on my voice. Let expanse contract. Eon become instant.
Wait, this must be it. The device. Oh, this is supposed to happen.
Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
Safe journey, warrior of light. Find our friends and bring them home.
It's a day for Shadowbringer. And thank you for showing me the dawn's light will shine again.
Oh, do not look at me so.
You're slaves to a tyrant! There's no freedom in that!
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you!
I must say your spirited accounts of things comes a welcome.
We did everything right! Everything that was asked of us, and still it came to this!
Your time has not yet come.
Yeah, I'm just, sorry, don't so loud here. Yeah, so I'm just streaming 11 for now. 14 for now. But once I'm done with the release, I'll return back to Final Fantasy. It won't take me too long to get this done.
From endless dreams I awake. Something vague, yet urgent, calls me to action once more.
Rare to meet someone out here who's not a peddler themselves. What brings you into the wilds this time of night? Well, if it ain't the oldest joke in the book. Me granddad, God's rest his soul, used to tell that one to the barman at kicking out time. And when, pray tell, did we last have a dark night? You rotten old drunk, you, he'd reply. Yeah. Over 100 bleeding years ago, that's when. You got that look down to a T. I'd almost think you meant it. Ah, got to you, did they? Poor beggar. That explains it then. Well, I've roads to travel and wares to sell, but you'd best hurry along to the town nearby. Just head east through the trees and aim for the Shining Tower. You'll find the place soon enough. 'Tis the biggest settlement for malms around. Go on now, friend. They'll take good care of you in the Crystarium.
Dizzying heights it rises, the gleaming spire.
its tip threatening to pierce the blinding canopy. There, it will all begin anew. Between dark and light, the pure and the corrupt. The one true struggle.
Halt! Every face in this city I know. Yours, I do not. This is the threshold of the Crystarium, stranger, and I am its gatekeeper. If you would enter, you will answer my questions. From where do you hail? Do you take me for a fool? No such place exists. Had you given me an honest answer, I would not have barred your way. We care little here for a person's place of origin. But instead, you chose concealment. And I will not suffer you to pass. That one had eaten. It must have gulped down the whole hand, ring and all.
Everything all right, Captain?
Quite all right, my lord. Just a stray sin-eater, and a weak one at that.
I see. Weak or not, we should be on the lookout for more. But I see you've met my guest. I will escort him to the Crystarium myself, if you've no objections.
Another of your mysterious friends, is it? I should have known. Very well. I'll inform the others your guest is to be given the run of the city. Pray forgive my less than cordial welcome. May the rest of your stay with us be a pleasant one.
come with me. I will answer whatever questions you have when we are somewhere more private. Right then, before we plunge into the wheres and wherefores, let me first thank you for answering my summons. I had intended to bring you directly to my personal quarters, but I fear my aim was slightly off. That you are still able to make the crossing unharmed is a great relief. And so, we come to the question of where. The realm in which you now find yourself belongs to one of the 13 reflections, or shards. The first, to be precise, even if its inhabitants are largely oblivious to the fact. As to wherefore, having been awarded the rather grandiose title of Crystal Exarch, I, in my capacity as caretaker of the Crystarium, thought to seek the aid of you and your companions. That is a question with no simple answer. But all shall be explained in due course, I promise you. Let us begin with the glaring skies up above. Here in the first, the world has been all but consumed by primordial light. It began a century ago, by this realm's reckoning. A luminous flood swallowing everything in its path. More than 9/10 of this star was lost. And the fortunate few who survived are hounded by abominations born of that catastrophe even now. Sin Eaters, we call them. The creature you saw earlier was one such monstrosity. It was to save the first from this menace that I learned to bridge the rift between worlds. That I might call upon the aid of the greatest of heroes. Though it meant depriving a world of its champion, I had to try, for in saving the first, you would bring salvation to the source as well. But what manner of host harangues his guests in the middle of the road? Let us continue our talk within the Crystarium.
Vibrant city. The sole sanctuary for the living in a world all but resigned to oblivion. Each stone was laid with hope. The town itself a symbol, a monument to defiance in the face of death. No would-be hero could fail to answer its call. For who among us does not yearn for salvation?
The third and final person I should like to meet you is Braggy, a man in charge of trades and distribution. He is to be found in the markets, which you can access from the opposite side of the Eater's Plaza. In seeking out each of my colleagues, you will visit the major district of the city, and hopefully gain a feel of the place. I trust my directions were simple enough. Crystal clear. Hi, very good. I concede the layout of the Crystalium owes more to historic necessity than planning, but I'm sure you will learn its twists and turns before long. In all honesty, the true challenge may be to find the right way to approach the citizens. As you discover during your encounter with the captain, the people of this world are unaware of your existence of other stars, and will struggle to accept the truth in your origin. That being the case, when they ask whence you hail, as they inevitably will, I suggest you claim to share a homeland with the Crystal Extarch. There is an unspoken rule here about peering too deep into a particular mystery. When you finish making the rounds, go ahead and meet me in the large courtyard at the center of town. Until then, alright, time to guess to look around. We'll spin around this area here. By focusing your sense, you detect the flow of vastly distant currents of ether. Your connection to these energies is faint but stable. Make sure to allow teleportation to your in the source. Okay. I'm gonna go around and tool myself. I see there's a couple of abilities that I have that are no longer available, so I have to reset my abilities and figure things out. Like that one. Okay, it's not this one. Great to see a place so well stocked with goods, isn't it? Not here. I'm going to guess you're new to the city, to the fair city. Oh, what's it worth? You've chosen a fine sanctuary. The exarch can throw up a barrier if the Sin Eaters come knocking. So as there's safer in here than it is out there. Safer and more civilized too. Thanks to us, the mean, we work together to procure materials and resources, and craft the goods which make the city life possible. This is the place to visit if you need a coat mended or a kettle forged. Just don't go thinking it'll be handed to you on a plate like those alien layouts. Here in Chrysonia, we work for a living. Though I see you're no stranger to honest labor, you don't have the whiff of indolence about you like some folks do, I bet. Still, I can't quit pin down your profession. Where is it you're from? One of the Arch countrymen, you say? I see. Well then, I worked twice as hard to make you feel welcome. Our city wouldn't even exist if it weren't for him. And any friend of his is a friend of ours. It's really quite incredible when you think about it. They say his grand mimic summons the city towers into existence, pull the entire thing out of thin air. It wasn't long before droves of refugees began congregating around his base, desperate for shelter after losing their homes to the flood. And that's how the Chrysonia began. At the Arch invitation, buildings started growing up, and with the help of some curious relics brought forth from the tower, the place gradually expanded into a thriving metropolis as you see today. The city stood here for decades now, yet the oldest among us swear the Arch looks exactly the same as he is at then. He is indeed a man of many mysteries, but in all his secrecy, he has never yet let us down. If he or you wish to remain silent about your shared homeland, then the folk here will respect your wishes for privacy. I am, however, more than a little curious to see any crafting talent you might be hiding. If you are to contribute on the front, be sure to come back and visit once you've had a chance to settle in. Just ask for a catalyst, and I'll find you a niche here in the Chrysonia meeting. It can help us keep the cogs of the city greased and turning. The exchange with catalyst has taught you about the life of Chrysonia. New to the city, friend? The spinning head and wide eyes gives you away. Welcome. My name is Braggy, and I'm the master of these markets. They gave the district another official title, but I'm not in the habit of using it. Too fluid by half. In any case, our merchant stocks a range of equipment of humans, such as yourself, so finding something in your size shouldn't be a problem. I'm sorry, did you say humans? Aye, something's wrong? Let's see if we can straighten this out. See those two in front of us? The shorter one is a human, like you. And the taller one is an elf. The sturdy individual over there is a gallant. The whistle one over there is points of drawn. And the one you have the large scale scallop and tails and rack and racing livestock, those would be the zoom. Which apparently not the name you know by the Dumbag. Now I'm curious to know which far-flung region you hail from. Ah, the same as the Dachaos. Well, that explains it. You don't get much further flung than that. We had a few of your lot pass through in recent years, and despite their obvious learning, they floundered over the simplest things. But not to worry, should you find yourself confused by the local language or customs, I'll be here to answer your questions. In exchange for what Raggies has taught you about the peoples of the first. Okay, what's next? Excuse me, sir. Are you recently come to the city, perchance? I am quite familiar with our civics role. You see, in well, what I mean to ask is, have you brought any books with you? I rambled, scroll, even a scrape of scribble on parchment. My apologies. Literature is something of an obsession of mine, as well as a profession. Librarian Moran at your service, and this humble collection is known as the Cabinet of Curiosity. As your powers of perception have likely informed you, my colleagues and I are responsible for curating all manners of tomes, documents, and other vehicles for the written words. As for emphasis as the loss of life and land brought by the flood unquestionably was, the damage to record knowledge was no less catastrophic. If you do all we can to preserve what wisdom survived. But tell me, what brings you to the cabinet today? Looking for any titles in particular? Mayhaps a spot of academic research? Oh, so you are interested in modern history. Splendid. Although a review of recent events and often your novel perspectives, I quite agree. If you would prefer something visual to accompany the account, then I think I have an illustration history book for children somewhere. Just a moment and I'll fetch it for you. And here we are. Would you like to pull a chair yourself, make yourself more comfortable? With the lesson then. A 100 years ago, a near enough not to matter, villains known as the Warrior of Light slew the Shadowkeeper, the Steward of Darkness. In the wake of his tainted deed, light began to pour into the world as if it's from unseen cracks. It pulled and swirled without cease until the day an enormous blinding wave rose up and swept across the star. We call the calamity the flood of light. Everything it touches was leashed with life and vigor, leaving naught behind but a luminous wasteland. Yet, just when it seems that all will be lost, a savior appeared before us. The Oracle of Light. She stood twixt us and approaching doom, and by her power did she stay the flood. Thus was Northern, and the Northern alone spared the fate of his assured erasure. Tragedy would, however, arrive in another form. From the blast emptiness descended horrors of strange and terrible aspects to be deviled the few folks who survived. Those sin eaters were light incarnated, and their effulgent presence stole the night from northern sky. Even now they circle the remaining bastion of civilization, ever on the hunt for us, ever hungering for our flesh. And does the world become what it is? Should you ever wish to hear talk the tale again, I would be glad to retell it for you. Oh, if you would rather I speak of the matter, that too would be my pleasure. I should be glad to of the accompaniment. In exchange of more talking about the flood of light. Look at this, what's going on? You bring the chaos, dude. Much love, man. Glad to be part of your community. Keep up the great work. I'm with you to the end, always, forever. To eternity. Because we are brothers. Push for life. Yeah, man. What's going on? Yeah, man. Thanks for the support, man. Thank you. Same likewise, bro. Thank you so much. You play Final Fantasy 14? I want just out of curiosity. No, I have not. Oh, okay. Because I don't think you did, because I've never seen you play it, but I was just curious. And they just released this game today, the expansion, so I'm like, okay. I got the early access, so I'm just checking things around, but I was up all night trying to do the download and everything. I'm so tired. I feel like I need a few hours of sleep before I could continue this game. Looks good, though. Yeah, it's good so far. See, the gates, the tunnel gate lines open, then. So basically, in this world that I'm in, the light is actually evil. And the power or darkness that I have is the only thing that can save humanity. Or whatever it is in this world. Where I'm good, but I'm also have the power of light and darkness.
Welcome to the Ocular, my private study. We can speak here without fear of being overheard. I have much to explain, but the truths which I must touch upon in doing so would cause only distress and confusion to the people of this world. Pray keep that in mind. Now, I am sure you are desperate to know the fate of your fellow Scions. To put it simply, they are here in the First. Their arrival, however, was not as recent as you may imagine. Here, time flows at a different pace from that of the Source. In the space of a single hour in your home world, an entire year might pass in the First, and the reverse could also be true. The pace fluctuates without rhyme or reason, and it cannot be predicted. That said, we seem to be entering a period of mere equivalence. And thus, for the moment, you need not overly concern yourself with the passage of time. As for your companions, however, Y'shtola and Urianger have dwelled here for 3 winters, all told, while Thancred's count stands at 5. Even our more recent arrivals, Alphino and Alizé, have lived in the First for almost a year now. My intention had been to summon only you, but the art of reaching across worlds has proven exceedingly difficult to master. Thus it was that my fumbling hand closed upon those to whom your fate is most closely bound as well. As they were not the object of my summons, their transference was incomplete. Though they may appear to possess corporeal bodies, they are, in truth, merely spirits that one can see and touch. Consequently, while you yourself will be able to pass between worlds with relative freedom, they will not. Much as it grieves me, they are stranded here, unable to return. We spent every waking hour searching for a way to reverse the summoning. In the beginning, at least. As you may have surmised, however, our efforts met with little success. And then we all but abandoned the endeavor once Urianger shared with us the vision he had witnessed during his journey through the rift. In that chaotic no-man's land between realms, time and space warp and blend in unexpected ways. What Urianger saw was the future, that which would one day come to pass. In his vision of tomorrow, the first was rejoined with the source. This collision of worlds brought about the 8th umbral calamity and the deaths of countless multitudes. Amongst those who perished, Urianger clearly saw the fall of the Scion's mightiest champion. He watched you die. And thus did the Scions embrace their exile, and began searching this world for a means to forestall the coming catastrophe in yours. Their souls are stranded in the first, yes, but they have fought on, desperate to save their home and you from destruction. Nor have their efforts been in vain, for it was they who finally established that the elimination of the Sin Eaters will indeed serve to prevent the calamity. Considering these circumstances of our meeting, you would be forgiven for doubting my version of events. And so, before all else, I would suggest you track down your comrades and hear the tale from their lips. I shall of course be happy to assist in these reunions, and you need not make any decisions regarding your involvement until you are certain of where you stand. Meanwhile, I promise I will not rest until I have found a way to help your friends return home. What say you? Have I earned your trust for the moment, at least? Excellent. You will not regret this. With that settled, we shall have to see about getting you ready for the road. Traveling across the rift has no doubt left you weary. I will arrange for a room where you might rest in comfort. While it's being prepared, perhaps I can show you around.
Right now because I just want to get some extra sleep. And again, no sleep last night. So I'll be back when I get ready. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll be back when I wake up.